Hello, John G. Manuel here. My primary assignment is teaching people how to be rooted in the Father's love. Many struggles we call behavioral are rooted issues: rejection, fear, condemnation, emotional wounds, unresolved trauma, and deep mental health struggles. Here, we don't just treat symptoms, we go to the root using a faith based, Christ centered approach that restores identity, safety, and wholeness. If you love God, you pray, you study His Word, but deep inside you still feel rejected, unseen, unheard, and even not enough, this message is for you. This doesn't mean you lack faith. It means there's a wound deep inside that truth hasn't touched yet. Today, I will be speaking on why you love God but still feel rejected. Many believers are sincerely confused about this inner tension. You love God, you're serving Him faithfully, you're even growing spiritually, you're showing up, yet something inside still whispers, you don't belong. Other times you even feel not qualified, not chosen. You feel tolerated. You even feel like others are better than I am. Is a feeling that I can relate to because this was where I was many years ago until Christ's truth transformed me from inside out. And for many of us, because we are Christians, we often silence that pain we feel deep inside with guilt. And sometimes you even go like, I shouldn't feel this way. It is not right for me to feel this way just because you're a Christian. You see, there are no records of people that Jesus healed in the Bible and then shame their pain. Jesus does not shame your pain. I just want you to understand this truth. Jesus will never shame your pain. He understands. You see, rejection is not just an event. It is actually an internalized belief that formed ever before we even had word for it. For many years, I had no idea I was dealing with the spirit of rejection because I didn't know the name, I didn't know what it was, but I could feel its effect in my life and especially in the way that I relate not only with people, but the way I related with God Himself. Many believers will say, but we are saved. You see, salvation does not automatically remove rejection imprints. You can be spiritually alive, theologically sound, yet emotionally wounded. Yes, it is possible to be a spiritual giant, yet remain an emotional wreckage, an emotional infant. It is very possible. In the book of John, chapter 10 and verse number 10, Jesus said, I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. That abundant life includes the heart and not just eternity. Feeling rejected doesn't mean God failed, you failed, or even your faith is weak. What it simply means is that your heart learned survival before it learned safety. And you know what? The Father is actually patient with that. I can guarantee you because I've seen it in my own life. I know how patient the Father was with me, even when I had all of these wrong ideas made up in my head. Now, I need you to take a deep breath and just know that you don't need to fix anything. Yeah, that's the approach that many people adopt, trying to fix it. You don't need to fix anything. But I want you to notice what this truth stirs deep inside of you because this is so critical. Healing begins when the pain is acknowledged, not when it is avoided. Matthew chapter 3, verse 17. This is one of my favorite scriptures in all of the Bible. And a voice came down from heaven, saying, present continuous tense, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. This is so reassuring and life transforming. A voice came down from heaven, meaning that this voice is not earthly. This voice has nothing to do with what men have defined you to be. This voice has nothing to do with culture, but it has everything to do with scripture. And that teaches that your identity comes from the source, and the source is the Father. The voice came down from heaven saying, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. This scripture right here and several others are actually the backbone, the spine of my belief in using the faith-based and Christ-centered approach to deal with the root of rejection. Before Jesus healed anyone, before he performed any miracle, before he preached, this voice came from heaven saying, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. This is so fundamental to understanding that the root of rejection never emanates from the Father. It doesn't come from the Father. It comes from the devil. Jesus had not done any work yet. No performance, no proof. Yet this resounding voice came from the source. And that's the same thing that is happening to you right now. The same resounding voice as it was to Jesus is the same way the Father is communicating to you right now. Before Jesus did any work, he was already beloved and then pleasing. These are two key words that I will be breaking down in the subsequent episodes. So this should tell you something critical. Rejection is not healed by human effort. God is not rushing your healing. He is patient with your process. So I want you to take your time with this truth and let it settle where healing is needed. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to this channel and let's take a journey together from rejection to sonship. Your life is about to be transformed in such a way you've never experienced before. As you go, remember this. The Father's love is not something you earn. It is something you return to. Don't forget, you're loved by the Father redemptively, sacrificially, and unconditionally. If this helped you, stay connected and share it with someone who needs safety. I'll see you in the next episode.